there! Did you miss me? What an exciting, electrifying boot camp we had. I missed the free Electrons Futureland already. You could really feel the incredible energy levels from so many meetings, collaborations, networking. This is innovation in the making. From the Free Electrons team, I'd like to thank each and every one of you who got involved. Core business units, innovation teams, startups, experts, and mentors. I must say I feel so proud to be following the best energy startups and utilities in the world, observing the impact their innovation has, not only on the energy sector, but also on the world around us. Well, off we go now, live to our Futureland studio, to hear from our amazing hosts. I think this could be the beginning of a beautiful friendship. I'm sure we will meet again at the Master Module in Melbourne. After all, Electrons can't be stopped. Bye!
Last day of the bootcamp, here we are. Thank you, Hallie, for the introductions. What a bootcamp. We had 200 meetings, more than 200 one-on-one meetings, more than 150 hours of collaboration, forging these new relationships. I had the chance to be in, I don't know, more than 100 meetings.
You don't sleep, so probably.
And I can tell you, what a cohort that we have this year. What a startups, how quality we have. What an amazing journey this was, and the fun of it is that we are just getting started. So regardless of moving forward, this is the moment where you were able to develop the relationships that last.
Indeed, and it is the beginning. And we have so much in store for you, but now we'd like to go out with a big bang. So to end things high, we're going to have a panel with the DEWA Youth Council and a Free Electron alumni. So please welcome to this panel Aisha Al-Rumaiti, who is DEWA Youth Council President, Nouf Al-Ahmadi, who you already know, who is a member of the Youth Council as well and will be the moderator, Sarah Merrick, one of our alumni, co-founder and CEO of Ripple Energy, as well as Marine Utge-Royo, who is Chief Strategy Officer of Teselo, plus our very own Anna Freire, who's Account Manager, Client Success at BTI. So take it away, girls.
Hi and good afternoon from Dubai. My name is Nouf Al-Madani. I'm an electrical engineer from the Future Accelerators team in Dubai Electricity and Water Authority and a member of the Youth Council of DEWA. We are gathered here today to have an enlightening panel on youth power and the future of energy, organized by the Youth Council of Dubai Electricity and Water Authority, DEWA, as part of the Free Electrons 2021 Bootcamp. So today I have with me young and successful panelists from the energy sector to talk about startups, inspiration, overcoming challenges and the future of energy from their point of view. We are hoping that by the end of today's discussion, you will have a clearer perspective of being a young entrepreneur who is capable of initiating a successful startup as well as dealing with challenges. So before diving into the panel discussion, I would like to welcome Aisha Al-Rumaiti, Senior Engineer of Innovation Ecosystem and the President of DEWA Youth Council to talk about the council.
Thank you, Nouf. Hello, everyone from wherever you're hearing us. On behalf of the Dubai Electricity and Water Authority Youth Council, it's a true pleasure to welcome you all to today's talk on the youth power and the future of energy panel discussion and virtual event. In the UAE, the year 2020 was about towards the next 50 years, which witnessed the launch of the biggest national strategy to prepare the country for the coming 50 years and its Golden Jubilee celebrations in 2021. Under the theme, 50 years of imagination, 50 years of inspiration, and 50 years of inclusion. As such, I would like to begin by addressing the current perception of the stability of future cities, which is highly dependent on each country's priorities, needs, and resources. Worldwide, cities are witnessing a rapid transformation in terms of increasing population, stressing on the governance of the three pillars of sustainability, also known as the society, the economy, and the environment. DEWA's Youth Council was established in 2017 in its first cohort, and this is in line with the wise leadership in the UAE and as well as part of DEWA's efforts to facilitate employees' development, enhance their leadership skills, and benefit from their competencies. The Council's second cohort actually focuses on 5 main themes to address the needs of youth in DEWA, some of which include sustainability, future accelerators, innovation, and much more. Our gathering here today is a clear example of the youth's commitment to be involved in sharing their experiences and being a part of productive and innovative dialogue. We wish all the speakers in today's session the best of luck and thank them for their efforts towards ensuring an innovative future, hoping that this event will contribute to and enhance your knowledge regarding the youth's involvement in innovation and creativity to build the cities of tomorrow.
Thank you, Aisha. And now allow me to welcome the panelists, Marine, Sarah, and Anna, to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Sarah Merrick, founder and CEO of Ripple Energy. We're based in the UK.
Hello, I'm Marine Uturio. I'm Tesselo's co-founder, one of the co-founders, and the strategy chief officer. I'm based in Lisbon.
Hello, I'm Anna. I'm part of BTI team, and I'm part of the client success team and focused on the strategy sector.
Thank you so much, Sarah, Anna, and Marine. So I would like to start off today's discussion by talking about the initiation of promising businesses. So I think it is very obvious that the younger generation is striving to become entrepreneurs and to have an influence on the society by being independent and having their own startup. So Sarah, as a co-founder of a successful startup, and from your experience, how does a typical entrepreneur come up with the idea for a promising startup?
Yeah, I think the key thing is to look for a gap in the market, because things are changing so much, and if you can look at what problems do you face, what problems, just keep your eyes and ears open for what issues are people facing, because then you can build a startup around solving that problem. If it's a big problem that lots of people face, obviously that creates a big demand for your startup, basically. So yeah, I think it's about not forcing it either. So you can't sort of sit down one day and think, okay, I'm going to start up, I'll set up a startup, what shall I do? I think it has to evolve over time, and you have to be really sure when you set it up that it is the right idea, because you do face lots of challenges along the way, and if it's not a really solid idea, it's just not going to make it for the long term. But yeah, there are so many opportunities as we move to a sort of net zero energy system, net zero emission energy system. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities, but it's about finding and developing over. I mean, it took me probably 2 or 3 years between me having the idea for what Ripple would do and actually setting up the company. So over those couple of years, I was just constantly tweaking it and evolving it, and then even after launching it, that process of just constant evolution of the idea, just it goes on forever. So yeah, you have to start with the core idea, but be prepared to evolve it over time.
Thank you, Sarah, for that. And on top of that, I think performing a good research is a stepping stone. So I would like to hear from you, Marine. What is the methodology of research in the field of energy, and what to look for? If you can give us some easy steps to follow.
Okay. Well, to start with, Tesselo's core business is to monitor natural resources and trees in particular using open data, in particular satellite imagery that we analyze with our own AI models. So for the energy sector, our intuition is that we know that power lines are critical infrastructure, and a lot of them are crossing forest. So what we want to do is to optimize power line monitoring by adding a layer of information about vegetation risk around power line. So during the Free Electrons program, we were able to talk with the clients, potential clients. And the first step is to really understand what kind of data they are using today and how our data is complementary to them. Clearly understand how their dashboard work, what are their timelines, what are their risk grid, so we can adapt our data to their current operating system. So it's important that it fits their needs. Then regarding AI, we use public data, public satellite imagery that allow us to map all the vegetation and trees around power lines at country scale. We have mapped all Ireland, all Portugal, all Japan, for example. And then we use our clients' data, high resolution imagery, mapping the trees the closer to the power lines, and we use this to train our AI models. So at the end of the day, we provide electricity transporters and distributors with a risk map around their lines so they can adapt their maintenance operation.
Thank you, Marine. I believe also the exposure and the interaction with other startups or utilities can help somehow in the research phase. So next to Anna, since you are a member in the Beta I family, you are probably interacting with startups, investors, and even utilities. So based on your experience and your research, what are the recent trends and what is missing in the market?
Thank you, Nouf. So for BTI, the energy sector is a strategic sector and a priority. So we have been studying a lot how innovation can bring impact to this sector. So today I'm going to talk about 4 trends that we've identified from the experience and the contact that we have with startups and also with utilities. But before that, let me just do a quick introduction. So the world is for sure looking for a more sustainable way of doing business and a more conscious consumption. And the example of this is these two startups that we have here in this panel. So the 4 trends that we identified as sectors and where the innovation can impact on the future of energy is, first of all, resources. So like water and hydrogen, they can be in the midterm and in the future resources, alternative resources for the energy production. Second of all, solutions for decarbonization. So we have a significant number of solutions worldwide that work on that. Also mobility. So we have a lot of interesting innovations regarding mobility, the future of cities, smart cities, the way how we're going to change our commuting. So it's a really interesting sector as well. And finally, the decentralized energy. So that relates to technologies that enable the district scale of energy production, paving the way for deep cuts in emission. So I think Ripple is an example of that. And those are the 4 trends that we can identify where innovation can impact on the energy sector. And what we need to implement this. So collaboration is a key when it comes to implementation and validation of those solutions. So programs like Free Electrons are really important to get together all of these solutions from the startups and the utilities and to test them and to be sure that in real environments they work, they have impact, and they are economically and financially viable to the rest of the market.
Interesting. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
So now let us talk more about the challenges and overcoming challenges. So Sarah, it will be great if you can give us examples from your experience about major challenges of establishing a startup and the best practice followed to avoid these challenges.
Yeah, so what Ripple does is we enable people to own a tiny part of a large-scale wind farm or solar park and then get the green, zero-carbon electricity that it generates supplied to their home via the grid by our utility partners. Now, this has never been done before. So the challenges that we faced, first of all, some people just said it just couldn't be done because it hadn't been done before. So we had to prove that it could be done. Securing investment to enable us to do and deploy our technology was another huge challenge. So it can be difficult securing investment from venture capitalists. So we went down a crowdfunding route. So we now have nearly 2,000 individual investors who have all bought shares in Ripple, and that's how we've secured the majority of our funding to date. So you're securing investment is a huge can be a huge challenge, and also timing. So startups are very agile. We can do things very, very quickly. We're a small team. We can make decisions and decide on our the way forward very, very quickly. When you're working with utilities, that's not necessarily the case. So they can often take a lot longer just to get in touch with the right person, to find who you should be speaking to. Once you speak to them, it can be really difficult to, not difficult, but the timing of, even once they said, yes, I want to do this, the time between that decision and signing a contract or getting anything deployed can be really long, and for an agile startup that can just be quite frustrating. So yeah, I think it's really important to recognize that you will face challenges along the way, and the key approach is just to, when you come up with a problem, your immediate thought is just, how do we get around this problem? So instead of, when you hit a brick wall, instead of just bashing your head against that brick wall, you need to change what you're doing, adapt, and find a way around it so that you can get to where you want to get to. But yeah, I think in terms of the sort of psyche of a startup, you really need, it's a complete roller coaster. There are just amazing highs and just really tough times as well. So it's really important to celebrate your wins, because you will face really difficult times, and you need that sort of all that sort of good feeling in your team to get you through the really hard times. So yeah, it's not, I think there's not a strategy for avoiding challenges. You will face challenges and it will be really difficult, but what's really important is to get strategies to get you through those challenges, and to find solutions that get you to where you want to be, regardless of the challenges that you face. But also you need to be able to adapt. So constantly you need to be thinking, do we need to change what we're offering, change how we approach things? So you just need to be really alive to new ideas, and not have a very fixed idea that this is what we're doing, this is how we're going to do it, and we're not going to deviate from the plan at all. You have to be really adaptable and always be looking for potential ways that you could do things better, or so that when you do come up with a problem, you can just find the easiest way around that hurdle. But yeah, you absolutely have to be prepared for hurdles along the way, because they definitely will come. However fantastic your business is, you will face challenges along the way, and you need to be ready for them, I think, is the most important thing.
Thank you, Sarah. I think since you have mentioned the adaptability, I would like to end the discussion by talking about the COVID-19 crisis. This was one of the biggest challenges that affected everyone. Some startups have continued to play a critical role for economics and reacted fast and flexibly to the pandemic, and have been critical in helping many countries shift from physical worlds to digital work, education, and even other services. However, on the other hand, we noticed that the crisis have limited the growth of other startups. So I would like to hear from you, Marine and Anna, for your experience. How can a young startup overcome such a challenge?
So I think that Sarah made like a perfect explanation of what a startup is and it's the behavior of a startup. So a startup has this brave spirit and adventurous spirit, and they are super agile in answering and facing challenges. Of course, COVID was a huge challenge, but from our experience during this storm and journey of COVID, we realized that for sure the startups struggled with a lot of things. Some of them that I can recall were like things like they struggled to raise funds sometimes, like in the very beginning, because it was people were starting to adjust to the physical and the virtual meetings and so on. So it was hard in the beginning. Then like raw materials components to help them developing solutions were really hard to be provided by suppliers, and going to labs, the ones that needed to work together in labs and test their solutions. Those were like the three main challenges that we recall to listen when we talk with the startups during this time. But on the other hand, COVID brought a lot of good things as well, and I think that the startups, we really have to congratulate the startups, because they answered beautifully to this context. Like Sarah was mentioning, they don't give up. So, and the COVID and the limitation of meetings and so on brought us to this scenario, virtual scenario, where it is possible to gather more people from the startups teams and more people from the utility teams, people that weren't able to meet if we were in a physical environment. Of course, that we need to find a balance, and in the future, perhaps we'll have like an hybrid way of doing business and collaboration. But at the same time, we learned a lot, and I believe that we also had some benefits of doing business in this virtual environment.
And if I can add on top of this, I recognize what you both said really resonates with me and the experience Tesla had. So we were lucky enough first to work already with satellite imagery, AI, etc. So we didn't need any field inspection, contrary to other startups that build their value on industrial asset inspection. So we were quite lucky on that side. And then the natural agility that is in our DNA, using tools such as Slack to easily connect with your coworkers, etc. It allowed us to keep the team united. I also want to highlight that the participation to free electrons paradoxically was really something good in the pandemic time, because this pandemic also gave more time to discussion. So it means that it gave us necessary time to look more deeply into our models, to have better interactions with potential clients, because it's hard to request time for a face-to-face meeting. But if it's just going to be a Zoom interaction, sometimes people are more time to give actually under this format, and that's also an advantage that we have to seize to build closer relationship with our clients.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was really nice to hear from you guys, Sarah, Anna, and Marine. Thank you so much for the insightful thoughts and for your energy. And to the audience, thank you so much for investing your time with us. And lastly, on behalf of DIWA Youth Council, I would like to thank the Free Electrons family, wishing everyone the best and the rest of the program. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, and well, from Free Electrons, it's a big thank you to DIWA Youth Council and to Nouf, Sarah, Marine, and Anna for their insights on how they evolved the startup, and just it's so inspiring to see how actually they thrived in this weird period. So thank you so much for sharing those insights.
So, in the name of the whole Free Electrons, I really want to thank the DIWA's team for being the hosts for the bootcamp. And in particularly, we have to thank the innovation team, to Nouf, Noura, Shama, Tawadud, Fatma. Your dedication was just amazing. We spent so many hours and so many meetings planning this bootcamp and hoping that we would deliver an amazing experience. And in the end, we did. So I'm really happy that this time that we have dedicated ended up in such an amazing event. So to conclude this and to see a bit about DIWA and before the closing remarks, let's take a look at a video from DIWA.
Take it away.
Dubai is a city where the impossible becomes a reality, where realizing dreams creates expectations for even more achievements. This is a city that does not know the word impossible, thanks to the vision of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE and ruler of Dubai, who accepts nothing but the #1 position. Dubai Electricity and Water Authority, DEWA, is part of Dubai's ongoing development and its journey to become the smartest and happiest city in the world. DEWA's vision is to become a globally leading, sustainable, innovative corporation. And its strategy is aligned with the UAE Centennial 2071, the UAE Vision 2021, Dubai Plan 2021, the 50-year Charter, the 8 Principles of Dubai, and the 10 Rules for Leadership. DEWA provides its services to over 1 million customers in Dubai, according to the highest standards of efficiency, quality, and availability to meet the increasing demand for electricity and water in the Emirate. DEWA's installed capacity has reached 11,700 megawatts of electricity and 470 MIG of desalinated water daily. DEWA has an integrated vision for energy security and sustainability. It includes 3 major themes. First, producing clean energy in accordance with the Dubai Clean Energy Strategy 2050, which aims to increase the share of clean energy to 75% by 2050. Currently reached about 9%, and this exceeds the target set in the strategy. Key projects to achieve this target include the Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Solar Park, the world's largest single-site solar park in the world, based on the independent power producer IPP model with a planned capacity of 5,000 megawatts by 2030. The solar park also includes the Innovation Center, the Research and Development R&D Center, which focuses on several areas including solar energy, energy efficiency, integration of smart grids, and water desalination using solar energy. The pumped storage hydroelectric power plant that will make use of the water stored in Hatta Dam. The Green Hydrogen Project, the first of its kind in the MENA region. The Shams Dubai initiative to install photovoltaic panels on rooftops and connect them to DEWA's grid. Studying, developing and building floating solar plants. DEWA adopts pioneering initiatives such as the Solar Decathlon Middle East, which encourages the youth worldwide to unleash their creative potential. DEWA hosted the first competition in 2018 and will host the second edition in 2021. Implementing environmentally friendly sustainable buildings according to the highest international standards, including DEWA's new headquarters called Al Shera, Arabic for sale, the Smart Grid Station, and DEWA's sustainable building. Second, decoupling water desalination from electricity production and desalinating water using solar energy. DEWA aims to produce 100% desalinated water by 2030 using a combination of clean energy sources and waste heat. Third, disrupting the role of utilities and digitizing them by adopting the disruptive technologies of the fourth industrial revolution, such as artificial intelligence, drones, energy storage, blockchain, and the Internet of Things, among others, disrupting the entire business of public utilities through Digital DEWA, the digital arm of DEWA. It has 4 pillars: solar energy, energy storage, artificial intelligence, and digital services. This will make DEWA the world's first digital utility utilizing autonomous systems for renewable energy, storage, expansion in AI adoption, and digital services. DEWA's efforts have contributed to distinguished global achievements, including first global ranking for the third consecutive year in getting electricity as per the World Bank's Doing Business 2020 report. The lowest customer minutes lost per year, CML, in the world at 1.86 minutes compared to around 15 minutes in Europe and the USA. 3.2% losses in electricity transmission and distribution networks compared to 6 to 7% in the USA and Europe. 6.6 water network losses compared to around 15% in North America. Raising fuel efficiency of the generation units to about 90%, which is one of the highest worldwide. DEWA ranked first in Dubai government's customer happiness in 2019 with 90.1%. With these achievements, DEWA moves steadily towards a brighter and more sustainable future for generations to come.
Nice. This is so amazing. I mean, I'm so honored to be able to work with 9 of the most innovative utilities from around the world and the most edgy startups around in the energy sector. It's incredible. And now it's time for us to look back at the last 4 weeks. No, it feels like it, but it hasn't been 4 weeks, actually 4 days. But so much has been done. I mean, it's so intense. And I'd love to show you a little video of what we've been all through in this experience that is Free Electrons Bootcamp.
Hello everyone, it's me, Ellie. Hope I'm not disrupting anything, but then again, that's what we're here for, to disrupt.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. There are no time zones, as you can see.
It has been a ride so far. You know, what I love the most about Free Electrons is that this brings together such different groups from all over the world, all with a one purpose, to build these long-lasting relationships.
Without further ado, let us meet DEWA, our bootcamp host.
We are pleased to host the bootcamp as one of the prominent members of the Free Electrons Alliance.
It's fantastic to see everyone so engaged and energized, and our virtual lobby has never been so crowded.
So far, it's been fantastic to see so many different utilities and startups in Futureland.
The one-on-one sessions have been demanding, but really, really great experience. Really get to meet their utilities specifically, how they're different, how they're similar.
Through one-on-one meetings, so it's been really informative and kind of a neat way to do the virtual bootcamp this year.
We've been warmly welcomed by DEWA, and the partners and seen some great reverse pitches by the utilities.
Presented the values of DEWA, where innovation is a part of it, to ensure that we are meeting the requirements and the changes.
And we will start with this alumni talk to understand how startups from previous cohorts experience was.
Even though we couldn't solve the problem when they had on that day, we're able to solve the problem in the future as it evolves.
Your technology evolves, your process evolves, how you interact with the utility that evolves.
Having the governance process, having the regularity with which you meet, and you have to deliver things.
This is Free Electrons, where the world's top energy startups dive headfirst into challenges, engaging with utilities and their business units.
Now, how incredible. I know we are surrounded by technology, but the Bootcamp and Free Electrons is only possible because of people, because of you. And this Bootcamp is no exception. It's been full of everything that makes Free Electrons so special. Innovation, collaboration, energy, and we loved every minute of it.
Yeah, that's right. You know, there are some people that I think we need to thank them. This Bootcamp was only possible because we have such amazing people, such hard dedication for everything, and we need to thank them. And let's start with the startups, the ones that attended the one-on-one meetings, all the sessions that interacted over our channels. I learned a lot from these startups. We have the most interesting discussions in the one-on-one meetings, in the networking sessions, all the conversations. So we should thank them, shouldn't we?
We should, and let me try to give it a go. So let's thank Apollo Power, Blix, Besurance, Camus Energy, Dabble, Duct, Electron, Elic, Exceedance, Xeri, FiberSense, F-Site Energy Flows, Guylytics, Go2U, Green Valley International, eSmart Systems, Grid Cognition, GridX, Hybrid, Keltec, LightApp, LiveEO Berlin, Measurable Energy, New Ventura, FlexiGrid, Precinto Technologies, Proxy, Rebase, Social Energy, Tacit.io, Vecta, Voltaware, Yota, Zinier, and Subsea's Mechatronic.
Yeah, such amazing startups that we had the chance to meet, and we really want to thank you. You are part of this experience, and you are now part of the Free Electrons family. Second of all, we need to thank all the utilities that were part of this. They had so many one-on-ones, but for sure this was an incredible experience for them as well. Actually, their experience haven't started in the bootcamp. They have prepared this together with us in the last 3-4 months with all the preparation, the open applications, seeing all the applications, do the selection phase, the online pitches, and now we are here. So we really need to thank them, and I would particularly like to thank the innovation teams of each utility. So let's start with AEP, and to thank to Tony, Paul, and Chris. For HouseNet, to Champy, Mark, Simeona. For CLP, Cindy, Austin, Saranj, thank you for being here. At DEWA, as we already mentioned, Noura, Nouf, Shama, Tawadud, Fatma, amazing job that you have done these last weeks to prepare the whole bootcamp. To ESB, John, Sarsha, Conrad, Hatna, we didn't have the custards because we are online, but hopefully we'll have those soon. To EDP, Carla, Luis, Jorge, Lola, Vasco. To Ion, Stefan, Karsten, thank you for the dedication and being on the one-on-one meetings. To Origin, Amy, Cameron, Joanna, Suchi, Chris, Beck, Scott. I'm not sure if they are here, it's midnight there probably, but there are no time zones in Free Electrons. To SP Group, Marianne, Victor, and May. So to all these innovation teams, we are really grateful to have you here. It was a wonderful experience to share with all of you. And the business units, they were also part of these meetings. They were always engaging with the startups, asking questions, sending follow-up emails, follow-up meetings, trying to understand how can they collaborate, how can they work together. So we really need to thank all of them.
And I would say, take notes, because history is being made right here. And we'll see things in the near future that have originated in this bootcamp. And we are making history.
Yeah, indeed we are. And finally, we have to thank the BEDI team that made this possible. Me and Manuel are the pretty faces here that you can see, but there is a whole team behind that was key to deliver this event. And for them, we have to give kudos to Humberto, Madalena, Lucas, Pedro, Diego, Madalena, Cris, Rafa, Ana, Henriá, João, Eriana, Susana, Emília, Josefa, all the team that is in the studio delivering all these, all the team that developed the Futureland and this production, and to you, Manuel.
Well, thank you, and to you as well, part of the pretty faces here. Teamwork makes the dream work. And this is really a collaborative effort to deliver this experience with a single goal, to design the future of energy together. Because collaboration is the key to success, and we are all part of it. And it takes all of us to do this collaboration. And this is not the end, not at all, far from it. Many startups have participated in Free Electrons, the bootcamp, and did move to the piloting phase, and ended up working with utilities. You know that. Connect with them. You have the contacts, so push the message. Your startups, be startups, do your thing. So don't worry. If things don't move forward in one way, they might move in another. And congratulations for being here. It's been an honor having you in the program right now. Actually, I'd call some of the utilities to give some words, and I would start with Diwa, with Tawadad. So please, some words.
Hello everyone. It is a great pleasure to say a few words at the end of this program. DIWA is very grateful for having the opportunity in hosting this year's program in Dubai, which supports the directives of our wise leadership who have made it strategic priority to predict the future. The UAE is making progress to become a global leader in the development in a sustainable future. This is inspired by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE and ruler of Dubai, who once observed that, as a nation, we have always been looking forward and planning for the future, which has been a key driver of our success. Our participation in the Free Electrons program, along with a number of leading energy organizations, is part of our efforts to strengthen cooperation between major global utilities and energy startup companies, which explores opportunities to overcome challenges and promotes innovation in renewable and clean energy. We are pleased with the great response and the quality of the projects. This is a wonderful opportunity for energy startups to embrace innovative ideas, to share information and knowledge, as well as to expand into new markets around the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Tawadad and Diwa team. Thank you so much. And now I'd love to hear from John from ESB.
Hi guys, I have a 50-page speech here, so I'll be ready first. Let me just find it here. I don't know what you mean by edgy startups. That sounds a bit dodgy. Oh, dodgy startups, is it edgy? Well, of course, you know what they say. If you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space.
There you go.
There you go. So I'd just like to say something's worth. So big thanks to B2I. They're very humble. They don't like being thanked, so okay, maybe we won't bother. I know. Well done, Andre. I want whatever drugs you're on, and lots of them. We've been and Manuel. We've all been drinking, as Cameron usually says. We've been drinking from the fire hose, except it's worse. We've been drinking from 35 fire hoses for 4 days. So actually, I think it's more like waterboarding by startups. It's like the Geneva Convention wouldn't allow this kind of behavior. But look, the startups are the second people I want to thank on behalf of the utility groups, not just ESB. The startups are the star of the show here. They bring it on. They've got the drive, courage, stamina, and resilience. And I was reminded while I was just listening to your intros there, guys, and indeed to the heroes from previous editions, Sarah and Marianne. Like there. Henry Ford's quote comes to mind. There are two types of people: those who think they can, and those who think they can't, and they're both right. Yeah. So, and clearly the startups are those guys who, and the other maybe thing that comes to mind is if you ask a startup a question, the answer is always yes. If you ask a utility guy a question, he'll say, maybe I'll just have to think about that and talk to my business units and come back to you. But hopefully there's a lot of yeses, and the idea of the Free Electrons program is to turn those maybes into yeses, and that's when the magic happens. And just because I am Irish, I would throw in an Oscar Wilde quote. The other two categories of people there are those, let me just thank the utility partners first in case I get cut off for the last bit. I just want to say I'd like Manuel to read that list of startups backways, actually, that would be great. I'd like to thank AEP, E.ON, EDP, CLP, Child in Hong Kong, our guys over there, SP Group in Singapore, Origin and AusNet in Australia, and our own team in ESB. We had over 100 people involved in the business units with no carbon footprint, unfortunately, and no drink, really bad. But we'll make up for it, hopefully, as we're hosting the grand finale in Dublin in November. We're still building the building, and hopefully it'll be built by the time you get there. And hopefully we'll stick syringes in you if you don't have a vaccine, just to be sure. It's all part of the free service. And it's big, huge thank you to DEWA. It's a lot of pressure on top of your day job to host the boot camp, even though I do a little bit of the work. When you're hosting, there's a lot of stress, a lot of work behind the scenes. So a super big round of applause for DEWA. Yay! Well done, Team DEWA. So we look forward to catching up with you with some of the for real modules. So back to Oscar Wilde then. So he also said there are two types of people, not quite as eloquent, maybe or maybe not as Henry Ford. There are two types of people, according to Oscar Wilde, the famous Irish playwright. Those who bring happiness wherever they go. And the other type is those who bring happiness whenever they go. And on that note, goodbye.
Thank you so much. That's brilliant. And I've heard that the new office has like rivers of Guinness flowing nearby and whiskey as well. So looking forward.
No, the river Guinness flows in. It doesn't flow out.
So looking forward to that. And hey, we are live actually. So I'd love to hear from everybody else on the WhatsApp channel and with some reactions of how the boot camp has been. And we can start with mine. I love the buffet. I think the food was great. This was a great event with the catering. I think that was a kudos. We should repeat this for sure. And who else? Any comments from all of you? We're live. We're reading.
Yeah, so it's your time to write here all the reactions that you have to this bootcamp. So yeah, we have here some saying many thanks to all the participants and how amazing it was.
And you have an army with you, Andre. It's awesome. Okay, awesome is a good word. I like that.
And we have people writing from all over the world. John is the best.
No doubts there.
I wrote that.
It was Ratner saying, so a bit biased.
Great week, no sleep is exhausting, indeed. Now take a rest. If you still have Friday, take half of it just for you. Enjoy the process. Great bootcamp, guys. Thanks to all. Well, keep on writing. We're live, we're reading, we're all sharing with you. And it's been great, hasn't it?
Yeah, indeed, it has been amazing. So, at least for now, it is not the end. Utilities will be choosing their top 15 that will move forward to the piloting stage in the next few days, and we will meet each other soon. By the 2nd of June, 11 a.m. Dubai time, we will have a 1-hour session to announce who moves forward. We can't wait. We are really curious to understand who will move to the next stage. Be there. In the meantime, let's keep in touch. As Manuel was saying, use our WhatsApp channels, keep engaging, keep networking, because relationships that start here can end Well, we never know.
Never know.
So I hope that you have enjoyed this experience, and we haven't come this far to only come this far. So see you next week. See you soon. Bye.
It was great. Thank you. Bye-bye.